Asylum Justin Villamar for Revolution News here at downtown Ottawa. Well, folks, I'm here at St. Brigid's Church, whereas, the so-called non-profit organization TUPOC, the United People of Canada, has been evicted from this place yesterday. And of course, you may see from behind me that the people that came here are actually working on taking down the banner. And of course, initially here, folks, is that yes, this place, if you will, has been occupied by TUPOC for many months now. And well, obviously, you can just see that they're actually out here working together to bring down the banner. And well, of course, as I'm seeing right now that the banner is being taken down. And of course, I'm not so sure if TUPOC's banner is still inside the church or not. But of course, that's the thing that we need to see here, folks, as this historic moment comes in. So, well, of course here, folks, aside from that, we're gonna actually try to sort of go on here and try to talk to some people around here.
I have a wrench right now if anybody needs it. I got it. Yeah. No, blue shirt. Hi. 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 Hi.
Yeah.
How does it feel to have all this stuff?
Are you lower now?
Nice and loud.
I've been paying attention because I was hoping
Feels
to
great.
be there
Honestly,
today.
it feels like the
I know
day
you'd be happy to
after
know
the
that
convoy was pushed out, where we got our community back, and we got to just like go out and see our community back to normal, and everybody was happy and felt a little like a weight lifted off. So it feels good.
It's been a real roller
Feels
coaster,
good.
so
Yeah, honestly.
having these.
I'd say like nothing but positivity today. I think everybody's
Sorry,
pretty
one
happy.
more time. I know it's a little bit louder.
That's okay. Sorry.
To everyone.
But I guess in most cases is that maybe they'll come back with some guys. I don't know.
Maybe they'll come back in a different form.
Yes. I mean, when the agreement of purchase and sale stopped on the 10th of July, I mean, there was no issue. As you all read, $5,000. Well, as I say, nobody has, so I can't comment on something that may or may not happen. It hasn't
How's the inside?
I haven't really gone through it to any great degree, so we will go through that, make an inventory of what's here. I mean, obviously we have ownership, ownership back to the directory, which is great. And although they brought back into the garage the directory that was TUPOC did after the bailiff was on site here. And but fortunately we're not in this property here, which is 300-302. So here, as I say, we haven't been in here for about 7 or 8 weeks because they were threatening to arrest me and do their citizens arrest and that. So, I mean, I guess for the issues all around this is that I mean, we all have to be careful out there when we're doing business with one another. I hope it's over. Although I have heard, I read the Justice's Gomery's piece and I thought it was excellent. I thought it was very decisive. But I've heard Mr. Comer make other comments, so I'm unsure what his plans are on those issues. But I mean, he had all the opportunity you know, he has 3 times come up with the money here. He's had 2 court cases. I'm not sure what's he missing. I mean, he doesn't. Seems to be. Maybe it's a part of his game. I don't know. That's the way I understand it. Right. Thank you, guys.
It's been a real relief, literally now that we've got our community back, and this is a very important part of the community. The disruptions from the convoy, the deceptions that these people were going on, and the way they are harassing not only the residents but our homeless down here. And as I explained to one of the other reporters there, for the homeless, for example, one of the ladies was brought in. They used her as their poster child. See here, this homeless person. We feed these homeless. We're taking care of them here. And then as soon as the cameras were off her, get off our property. And when she didn't get off, she had the police come and arrest her and throw her off the property. This is the sorts of things that we were seeing. You know, and the harassment to the residents, you know, you couldn't walk down the street sometimes without being harassed, where they come up and try and impose their views of what they feel on you. But and you can't explain that if you want. Like my grandfather had one saying, okay, he said, freedom is responsibility. Freedom has to also be earned, and they have no idea what that means. Because to get freedom, you don't go up and harass people for freedom. It's, yes, everybody should have their voice at the table. I understand that. But there are ways of doing it in proper ways without disrupting an entire city. And then they come in here and they disrupt an entire community, just one community in the city here. And then we find we have residents coming from other parts of the city who are coming because we're being so terrorized, they're coming in to help defend us. But this is the way Ottawa has always been. If one gets hurt, everybody comes in. And that's the way it should be. We should all be working together. But being afraid to walk out your door because between the convoy and these people, and then we're finding out all the people that are coming into the church here are people from Alberta, Saskatchewan, from the west. And talking to these people like, well, they're so furious because of what the government's doing because of the oil and the gas. Right now, they want that pumped out. And you talk to them, well, we want to go environmentally with the green. Oh, but we hear how bad the green is. All these people, for an example, we'll just use the COVID-19 shot. Okay, when one of them, I was trying to talk to him about it, and he said, well, now the person that invented it's saying, well, it's terrible, just terrible, because he's against it now. He's putting out stuff. But that may be misleading information, because my brother, okay, he was a biochemist, he worked in Health and Welfare Canada, he worked himself up through the ranks to the point where before he retired, quite a while back, he was the person who signed every single drug that had to go on the Canadian market across the board. It was his signature that meant it got out on the market for the Canadian people. Okay? And this is the sort of thing that you have to understand when you know, and he even said to me, being a biochemist, there was nothing wrong with the way the COVID-19 shot was made. It was perfectly safe for people. And yes, we are having some side effects, but you don't understand, people have different bodies. Our bodies are all going to react differently. But it also comes back to the simple expression from Spock from Star Trek. The good of the many outweigh the needs of the few, in a sense. But when you look at all the people who have ended up dying from COVID and not taking the shot and then begging at the end of their lives, give me the shot, please give me the shot. And you get this from our healthcare workers. Because how do you put a balance in this? You know, yes, it's your choice what you want to do with your own body. But I've always looked at the same thing as Spock. It's the good of the many. But look at how many of us did survive because we were getting the shots. So there is a good example of the good of the many. And that's what everybody was thinking about, was the good of the many. You know, and how can you describe how horrible this was? Because you're living through a nightmare. And they're going to try and keep coming back. And this is just coming right across from the border. This is just another branch of Trumpism is what I call it. These are the fanatics. When you look at the GoFundMe pages that were up there for the convoy, a lot of that money was being supplied from the States. Not from Canada, it was coming from the States. It was being funded by them. And that's what they hoped with this church, was that, oh, well, we'll just buy the church and then we'll just put up a GoFundMe page just like we did in the convoy, and then we're going to get all the money. It's going to come to us just flowing in. So that didn't work. That was one of the reasons they couldn't pay their rent. Literally, they couldn't pay the rent, they couldn't buy the church. But it was just, they have a tendency to talk out of one side of the mouth and then out of the other side of the mouth. And I mean, I've had conversations right in front of the police officers with them. You know, oh, well, I don't care. I'm not going to take the shot, for example. Well, don't you realize you're gambling with your life? Oh, that's okay. That's my choice. But again, it comes back to our healthcare workers saying, so many people who are dying didn't have the shot. Give me the shot. Please give me the shot. So, you know, we are to work together. And this is one of the things that our whole communication is really messed up right now. This is why the Canada Goose, which means shared leadership, this is why William Commander said that the only way the world was ever going to come to peace was through shared leadership. And through all the different cultures, everything else, we must find a way of coming together to bring peace for all countries across the world. And this is where we're in right now, the battle. And it's not because what nationality you are, what nationality we are. We all want very similar things, but we need to work together, literally, to find a way to come to peace with one another. We cannot continue living the way we are. Not at all. And with climate change, if we can't settle it between ourselves to work on climate change either, then Mother Earth is simply going to wipe us all out, because she has the power to do that. In every country, the earthquakes, the hurricane right now that's hitting the Atlantic Canada, she has the power to bring us down. She will put us in our place, literally. And it's not one country putting another country in its place. It's going to be planet. Mother Earth herself is putting, and she's been crying out that she's having major heart attacks right now with the weather patterns and everything else. We've got to start looking up to Mother Earth, and this is because I'm part Indigenous myself. So, literally, I have to see both. I see both sides of the story. I can understand why people are crying. But I'm going to give you a pamphlet after, and you can read it, and you'll understand what I'm trying to say. In the pamphlet, we have to work together, and why things were brought up in the Indigenous culture, and why I follow their traditional teachings as well. And it's so important that the world lead and listen. At least that's the big thing. We're not listening. We've got so many ideas, but we're not sitting down and really listening to one another and our needs. But if we all...
Well, the current situation here is that, yes, well, the TUPOC's banner has been brought down by other residents that live in this area. Even the ones that doesn't live in this area had actually came to actually witness as the TUPOC's banner being brought down, and the fact that, well, all of TUPOC's banner, I think, has been brought down, including the one inside. So, well, of course here, folks, surely, well, yes, according to one source, well, the parking garage has been filled with cars that have freedom flags, like with a fringe, well, mandate freedom and so forth. But now, from what I have seen in the parking garage of this church, is that yes, all of those type of cars are already gone, as of course yesterday the Ontario Superior Court has ruled in favor of the owner, as TUPOC failed to pay the rent. And of course, the matter of fact also is that yes, they also failed to pay the owner of the amount that the owner asked them to pay for in order for them to completely purchase the church. So, well, of course here, folks, that's just for what it is here. And of course, also according to the source, one news source that I trust, is that, well, yes, TUPOC might come back here, and of course it is also according to their word that they're gonna be leaving this place, while I think they're gonna be coming back But, well, of course, who knows what can really happen here. Maybe they're gonna be coming back here or not. But, of course, for now, what I could say is that we'll just have to wait and see because, of course, future is totally unpredictable. For Revolution News, I'm Justin Millamore. Hey there, folks, please support my independent journalism by going to donorbox.org/Revolution Freedom Reports. That's donorbox.org/Revolution Freedom Reports. And of course, if you can kick in a buck or two, that will be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much.